Toussaint. How do you say your name? Because I feel like I'm adding a little bit of French flavor that I don't have.
All right.
A French flavor that's a bit closer flavor.
Yeah, so it depends. If you are French
Yeah.
or you Congolese, I'm from the DRC, it's Toussaint.
Toussaint.
And
Toussaint.
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 Yes.
Okay.
And if you want me to translate it to English, it means All Saint,
Okay.
right? So if you want to pronounce Toussaint in English, it will be Toussaint. Hence the name Saint.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. The Saint, like,
yeah.
Toussaint.
But a lot of people add their own French accents. I don't know why. I mean, so you'll hear some Toussaint, Toussaint. Feel comfortable, you know, as long as I can relate or I know what you're trying to say, it's all good.
Oh, that is fantastic.
It's all good.
So,
yes.
you know what I really wanted to... So, because it's obviously French.
Correct.
And so, from the DRC.
Correct.
Were you born there? Were you born here?
I was born in the DRC, but grew up here in Cape Town. I arrived in Cape Town I arrived in South Africa in 1993, Johannesburg first, for a couple of months.
A long time.
I'm an old guy.
Do you even know what the DRC is like?
Yeah, I was there. The last time I was there, I think, was in 2021, if I remember correctly, Feb 2021,
Okay.
around that time. Yes, I do know the DRC very well, but not as much as South Africa. I know Cape Town more. Grew up here in Cape Town from 1994 up until now. I've been in Cape Town.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what school did you go to?
I went to Sun Valley Primary School. Went to Fishhook Middle School, Fishhook High School. Then went to CPUT, which is right down the road, and also went to Gibbs in Pretoria.
Kids Business School.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, actually, now that you mentioned this, is because I'm thinking. So your parents are obviously from.
They
live here as well.
No, unfortunately, I lost my dad in 2021. That's why I was there at the DLC for his funeral.
okay,
But my mom is in Johannesburg.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. Okay.
It's part of life. My dad
Yeah.
was getting old anyway, so
Oh, okay.
he lived his life.
So it's not part of like what was happening during that time.
No. It's well, some people say it is. I just think it was, it's God's timing.
Okay.
It was God's timing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I won't let people say it was because of COVID.
Yeah.
It's God's timing.
All right.
Yeah.
And what is the relationship with him like?
Yeah, it was very good. I mean, he was a politician,
Mm-hmm.
massive politician in the DRC. Once a prime minister of the DRC, actually. But
Oh.
he didn't like to be the prime minister. He preferred governor. He was governor of a province called Katanga for a very, very long time, since the 60s, since the 80s. Yeah, so he was a prominent man, very well respected. And how was the relationship? Very close, usually mostly over the phone. He was always in the DRC. I was here in Cape Town with the family. So he'll call now and then. That's, politicians are always very, very, very busy. Yeah, extremely busy. So the relationship was there, very tight, but usually over the phone. He'll come and visit us in South Africa once every 5 years or something like that.
Wow.
Exactly.
So you guys hardly saw him then?
We barely saw him. It was very, very busy. He needed to be in the DRC to try and fix all these corruptions and things like that. The country really needed him. I mean, for us, it was normal. Even when we were at the DRC, I left when I was 5. We'd barely see him.
Wow.
It was,
because I was that busy.
That's how busy it was. It was just a norm for me,
It's interesting. Like I was flying. Well, a few weeks ago, I was flying from the States because I was in Costa Rica.
Yes.
And there was a gentleman who was like, sitting next to me, and I asked him, how are you? Where are you from? He's from DRC.
Yes.
So I asked him, so where are you going? Well, said I was going back to DRC.
Right.
And I was I wondered if he came here for work. If was there. And on holiday. He says, no, I was actually there to visit his family.
Oh, nice.
And his family lives in Canada.
Oh, wow.
And he spends, I think he spends 5 weeks in DRC working,
right,
and 3 weeks with his family.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So he just goes like this back and
he's lucky. He's lucky to be able to visit his family. Some people don't get that opportunity,
But I think for him it's because he's probably like it's not. I don't think he's a politician.
Right.
So he's a businessman. So I think
I see. Makes sense.
So your dad probably had a lot of stuff to fix.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, DLC. There's a lot of resources there. There's a lot of money. So there's a lot of people trying to grab. So at the time, also with the civil war that was taking place, he was very much needed.
Yeah.
So I mean, for him to just leave even once a year was almost impossible. I understand it now. As a grown-up person, I really understand what was happening then. When I was young, obviously I didn't understand, but now that I have my businesses and not as much as him, or I'm not even as close as busy as he was, I do spend time with my family, but I'm out of the house from like 8 in the morning and I go back, I get home around 10, you know? So yeah.
Yeah. So what are the maybe 2 or 3 things that you'd say, yeah, these are the amazing 3 things I've learned from him that have really made me this, making me to become this person that I'm becoming?
Right. My dad is my role model, right? And I say he's a major role model to me because firstly, he got us out of the DRC where it was at the time, there was war, like proper civil war, like serious war, not just in one area, whatever.
So do you remember anything about the Civil War? We're just too young to remember anything.
No, I do remember. I remember the noises.
So we'll come back to the question that I just asked you. So I'm just curious, yeah?
No, I do remember. I mean, obviously I wasn't part of it. We were very well protected, but I do remember the noise. I remember people running. I remember the screaming and stuff like that. So yeah, just the mere fact that he got us out of the DRC to come here. If you look at people around his age, my age, it's rare. It's rare to get that, you know, just for him to bring us here and give us the opportunity to get a better education or some sort of education. I think that's massive. Not just for people from my country. I think for black people in general, education is very key. And through that education, I've been able to, you know, make choices of my own, being able to understand what is right and what is wrong. So that's one. Being able to give us education. Number 2, he's been able to keep the family together. You know, being a prominent man like him and a man from the DRC, my dad had 4 wives, you know.
Okay, yeah.
He had 4 wives, and it's not easy to be able to come from a polygamous family. You don't really get the opportunity to meet everybody, you know, and or to get to understand or to have a relationship with everybody. He made sure that all of us had a relationship somewhat, you know. That's 2, being able to keep the family together. Number 3, what would I say? He loved us.
No.
He loved us. You know, maybe his presence maybe was not there as per norm or as per the society norm, but again, education, keeping the family together, being able to eat, being able to, my school fees being paid for, being able to wear clothes, being able to be sheltered, you know, that's love. You know, you can love someone from far, you know, and I think every kid needs to be loved in order for them to know what they want in life, you know, and he did that for us, not just for me, for all of us. Yeah.
I mean, I've also, like, what I've observed, you know, a little bit about you is that you also seem to love spending time with your family.
Yes.
And we're talking the other day, and you know, I think your son was sick.
Yes.
And then you're like, I'm so sorry, I can't come.
Correct.
We can't have this podcast because you know, so let's reschedule.
Correct.
And I remember, like, when was it your second child?
My second daughter,
second
child. Yes,
second child.
Not second daughter.
Your
second
daughter,
child.
Second child. When I think, you know, your child was just born, and I don't know how I ended up finding. I think we were texting or something, and I could tell that she was just such a proud father.
Absolutely, I love my kids dearly. They everything. They drive me. You know, they. I mean, before them, I've always been an ambitious person, but then having them just made me understand why I'm so ambitious, you know. I've been ambitious for them without knowing that they were going to be there.
Yeah.
And now that they're there, I understand why I'm actually ambitious. I love them dearly. And also, obviously, not having that presence of my dad, my physical presence, I don't want that for my kids.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to be there. I have to love them physically, mentally, and they need to feel it, you know, emotionally and stuff like that. So I'm also learning from what I messed with my dad, and I don't want that for my son and daughter.
Which is, I know you mentioned it, the fact that he wasn't there physically.
He wasn't there physically, but he loved us. So he wasn't there physically.
So you
I want to give that
physical presence and the emotional, where they kind of feel it.
100%. That's very important.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so how many of you with your mother?
Yes. Jeez.
I'll tell you why I'm asking. How many of you?
Yeah, we are 5, eh? Yeah,
there's 5 of you.
Four boys, 1 girl. 4 boys. I'm the youngest boy from my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the youngest boy from my mom, and then I've got a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's I know that there's you started, I think, this business, which we'll get into with one of your brothers?
No, I started it alone.
You started it alone?
I started it alone. Yeah, I started the business alone.
Okay.
And the business started thriving.
Yeah.
Started thriving a lot. I'm very much marketing, operational.
Yeah.
My brother is more finance. He worked for JP Morgan and a company called Prudential, and he's currently working for a company in Germany called Linear.
Okay.
So when it comes to financing and managing finances and stuff like that, he's
the guy.
I spoke to him. I was like, hey, I'm making a lot of money, bro. I'm making a lot of money. You know, before you have money, you've got all these ideas of, no, this is what I'm gonna do, whatever. When you actually have the money, you sort of get scared. It's not like you don't know what to do. You just want your money to be secured because you've got all these ideas, but now you don't know what to do anymore. Do I do this? Do I do that? Or whatever. So that's when I approached my brother. Look, I've got this much money. What do we do with it? Very smart guy. One of the things that he mentioned that will always stick into my head is like, I will make you a very, very wealthy man. Fantastic. As long as you keep making what you're making, I will make you a very, very wealthy man. And through him, with his help, we've been able to purchase this venue where we are right now, 37 on Harrington Street. We've been able to purchase the entire building, simply because I got the right person to manage our money.
Yeah. And I'm assuming there's a lot to do with the fact that it's someone actually you've grown up with and and you can really, really trust.
I trust him 100%. We've never had disagreements. We've never had disrespect or back and forth or any of these whatever. I trust him fully. Like, he's the only person I can trust. Yeah. When it comes to employees, it's a difficult conversation, But with him, I trust him fully.
Quick one. This production would not have been possible without the good help of our friends over at Phil SA. They have given us some of the equipment that we use to shoot this podcast and some of these episodes. In fact, all of the episodes that we've shot so far. Please go and check out some of the good news stories they have on philsa.co.za, and also check out the YouTube channel and subscribe to them as well. Click the link in the description to find out more. And then so in terms of your drive and your ambition,
yes,
how much of that has got to do with the fact that your father was such a successful person? Is there, because I remember reading a thing that said a lot of men,
yes,
their success, we are chasing our fathers.
Correct.
Right? That your father is always this invisible shadow behind you.
Correct.
Whether your father was successful or not,
right,
it's this shadow that's kind of forcing you to look into yourself and say, maybe I want to be like my father.
Right.
I want to make my father proud, whether the father is around or not. It is this figure.
Correct. For me, my mom has always told me, you just like your father, you just like your father. But my father was not around for me to say that I'm like him or I'm chasing to be like him. It's just a natural thing that's just happening to me, where I'm extremely ambitious. I've always wanted to work. Even when I was young, I started a business at my own house, selling sweets and things to my siblings and stuff like that.
You're selling your own siblings?
Exactly. That entrepreneurial spirit just started when I was young. And I can't answer and say, I'm chasing my dad, or it has to do with his shadow. It's just something natural that I can't really say. But my mom has always said, you are just like your dad. You are always like your dad. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a natural thing. If it's I can't answer that. To be honest.
But I'm saying there's still. I love giving examples.
Right.
So I didn't know my father really because I was 6 years old when he passed away.
Sorry.
We literally found out on my 6th birthday.
Oh my God! So sorry.
They were having a party, and found out later. And
oh my God!
But then the story.
It's strange. Sorry to cut you off. It's strange because the day I found out my dad died, I was having a party too.
Wow.
I was at the friend's birthday party.
Oh my!
I was at the friend's birthday party.
Jeez, it's so weird.
It's very weird.
So and so the stories people tell me about him.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, your dad was he's like, he was such a, he would not stand for nonsense. He was a fighter, and he read a lot and he did all of these things. And what I found myself doing almost subconsciously is I gained this aggression as a child, as a very aggressive child.
Right.
I know I don't look like I am very aggressive right now. And then I think when I was kind of self-analyzing and looking at myself, I realized, oh my word, I was trying to channel this person that people have been telling me about, even though I don't know the man.
I hear you. And
so anyway, but I think I was just wondering.
No, for sure. Again, for me, maybe for you, because people have been mentioning it.
Yeah.
For me, it hasn't been that.
It's in our DNA.
It's just in my DNA, and perhaps it's from him. Perhaps it's just been.
If it's the DNA, then
it's definitely
him.
passed on. It's passed on from him, but. I can't say it's because my dad was an entrepreneur or he was a politician or I'm chasing that or because people have been talking to me about my dad and this.
Yeah.
It's in the DNA. I guess. Like you just said, now it's in the DNA and that's what I've known. For me, it's not even this thing of I want to make him proud. Yes, I want to make him proud. I want to make my mom proud. I want to make my family proud. But it wasn't about I'm ambitious because I'm going to make my dad proud or something like that. No.
Because now I can see like what you're saying about you are working for your kids. That's
right.
That's what you do.
100%.
And I've heard this. So, there's a guy, I wouldn't say he's a friend of mine, but it's someone who's on the board of a company that I used to work for.
Right.
And so I was spending some time at his house in Stellenbosch. And he says to me, very super duper Christian kind of guy, right? Yes. And he says to me one day, Khaya, dude, I know, like Christian and everything. Yeah. And they say you shouldn't have a child before you get married.
Oh,
and he said to me,
yes,
just have a kid.
Yes.
Even if you're not married and
absolutely.
Your life, your perspective is going to change.
Absolutely. I agree fully because having a kid brings a lot of responsibilities that you did not foresee. For example, let's talk about me. Having my son means I have to take him to school. So now I have to be sober at night. No, I have to be sober at night because I need to take him to school. Yeah. So, by being sober at night, it means that you are composed, you become disciplined. So, yes, having a kid also brings a lot of blessings. I think it brings a lot of blessings because you've been responsible, you've been disciplined, and now things are just happening all the time. You're working, you're focused, and they just put you through that channel of blessings and responsibilities. I think that it's a beautiful thing. And I fully agree with him saying whether you're married or not, having a kid is a blessing because that is a gift from God.
Yeah.
Every child is a gift from God. So no one should ever say having a kid before marriage is wrong.
Yeah.
It's a gift from God.
But I think, also what you're doing, there are a lot of people who have kids.
Right.
But are they really doing what they're supposed to be doing? And that's that's a big difference. So I think, and I think those two should work hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Because I think anybody can make a child, right?
Absolutely.
But not everybody can be a father.
Absolutely, I mean? Absolutely. Hey, man, that's a tough one there. Those that are not there for the kids, I really can't answer for them. I don't understand. I will never understand any person that took the responsibility to be a parent and that are not there for the kids.
Yeah.
Or I can't. It's just not me. I can't think for them. I can't answer for them. I don't even want to say it's wrong. It's totally wrong, but hey, everybody goes through their journey. So maybe they're just going on a different journey and we just have to respect their journey. But as for me, as a father, I have to be there for my kids. I live for them,
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so when you're in school, what I want to know, right?
Yes.
Like what you're doing now, when you're in school, did you say, one day I'm going to own an amazing freaking nightclub? That's what I'm going to do. What was it that you thought you were going to do?
Right. Yeah. To be honest, I never, ever pictured me being a nightclub owner or even having a nightclub. I just wanted the norm of being, as a youngster.
Because I know you studied engineering, right?
I studied engineering. But as a youngster, we all had dreams of being soccer players and things like that. I was approached to play soccer in Italy.
Oh!
Yes, but at my young age, I'm a very good soccer player. Well, I'm old now. I'm turning 37 this year, so it doesn't matter. I was approached to play soccer. I was probably 12 or 13 at the time, but my dad refused. So they offered my dad money for me to go play soccer in Italy. My dad said, no, my son is going to stay here. He's going to study medicine. Typical parents, right? So in my mind, I was like, no, I'm not going to study medicine. I'm going to be an engineer. I thought I was going to do something, along the engineering field. I studied industrial engineering. As I started studying industrial engineering, I realized that, hey, industrial engineering is almost like entrepreneurship, because as an industrial engineer, you are basically a project manager for any project, So you basically choose, people or different, whatever it is, to put them together for things to work. So as time progressed, whilst I was studying at CPUT, I needed to pay my school fees. My university fees. It became very tight. Then I started working as a bartender at this place called Orchid Bank, I think Orchard or Orchid Bank on Long
Yes,
Street.
I remember this.
Oh,
I
you
remember
know,
it.
do you know
I
that place?
remember it.
Orchid
Yes,
Bank? Yeah,
yes.
on Long Street.
Yeah.
I was a bartender there. And one day, this DJ comes
I wonder
down.
if you served me once.
A DJ comes down. At the time, I think I was getting paid, I can't remember, maybe 17 rands per hour.
Mm-hmm.
So per shift, I'd get maybe 150 rands. This DJ comes down, pour me a drink, I pour him a drink. I see the manager handing this guy a lot of cash. I asked this guy, yo, why are they giving me so much cash? Yeah, why are they giving me so much cash? Oh no, it's my money for my gig. I knew that this guy was there for an hour.
Yeah.
But I easily saw 3,000 rand. I was like, how much are you getting paid? You mentioned something 3,000 per hour. From that day,
Yeah.
I said, I will never be a bartender again.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a DJ. And I became a DJ. I started DJing, and once I started being booked at various venues, that's when I grew fond of this nightlife industry. And that's when I decided to open up a club. I opened up my first bar in 2013.
Okay.
Same premises, actually.
Oh, so you saw, that is so funny. You saw a DJ getting paid. You're
Exactly.
like, okay, for an hour.
You got 3,000 rand.
And whereas I'm getting paid like, I don't know,
17 rand per hour. You getting 3,000 rand. I said, never again.
I don't know who's good with maths here. What percentage difference is that?
Jeez.
It's a lot.
I don't even think there's any percentage. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then you were like, but then what made you, okay, after you
Right.
saw that and you're a DJ
Right.
and you DJ and you're getting booked various gigs.
Correct.
And then you're like, okay, I'm going to own a bar.
Yeah, the aim was I'm gonna have a Saint,
Yeah.
but to have a venue such a Saint costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. When I mean a lot of money, millions of money.
Yeah.
Obviously, I couldn't just start with millions. I
Yeah.
needed to start somewhere. Or I couldn't just start with Saint. I needed to start with a bar or something small. So I started off with the bar, attracted a lot of students from UCT, CPUT, even Staleys. And as it progressed, started making some money. But students are a mess. Every single day we'd have to fix toilets, fix something. I was like, man, I need to get out of this. I need to change my target market completely. Managed to raise some funds, and that's when I approached my brother,
Yeah.
Patrick. Hey, listen, this bar is very successful, but this is the vision. I want to have Saints. This is the type of clientele, etc., etc. Came on board. We put money together, and we opened up Saints.
So when you were working with this, when you had this bar,
Right.
what are the things that you learned that you would have missed if you'd gone straight to open a bar? I mean, and gone straight to open Saint without having started this.
What I would have missed is that you really have to understand your consumers. That's the very first step, right? Having the bar made me understand that you have to understand how they behave, what they really want, and their complaints. You really have to listen to their complaints, That if I never had the bar and I just opened up Saint, I would have lost a lot of money. But because I started off with students, and students love to talk, I got to understand that, hey, you need to understand them, understand what they truly want, give them what they want. Students want rowdy spaces, and you give them that rowdy space, and then they'll be in the comfort zone. You can't give students, beautiful spaces and expect them to act as students want to jump up and down. You know what I'm saying? So now, if you're gonna go for a different target audience, you need to understand what they really want, give them what they want. Now, Saint has that, opulent clientele, very exclusive clientele. They have money, so you give them that space. That's what I got to understand. Yeah.
Okay.
That I would have missed if I never had a bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now you start, you're like, okay, you speak to your brother, you approach him. Doesn't he say, what the hell do you mean you want to start a nightclub? And also, what does your mom say?
Yes.
And what does your dad say? When they say, guys, I'm going to start a nightclub.
Right. As I mentioned, my brother's a finance guy, so he never questioned about the nightclub. He saw money.
Yeah.
He saw money. Oh man, I'm gonna make you a wealthy man as long as you keep making this kind of money. But when it came to my mom, don't you dare. Up until now, my mom is not happy. Up until now, my mom is not happy that I'm in the nightclub industry. She's a prayer warrior. She prays a lot. Very much Christian. I'm very much Christian as well. And she's like, this business is the devil's territory. And I disagree. It's not really the devil's territory. I think this business...
The Bible does say eat, drink, and be merry.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Say it again. The Bible says what? Sorry?
Eat, drink, and be merry.
Really?
It's Ecclesiastes.
Eat, drink, and be married. That's beautiful.
Somewhere in Ecclesiastes, I think maybe 3 or 4. I don't know.
Well, if
it says like I think it starts off by saying that it knows, for God knows something about that it is good for people to
eat,
have a
drink,
good time, eat, drink, and be married.
Absolutely, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, she doesn't like the fact that I have a nightclub up until now.
But that doesn't impede your relationship.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not. I mean, she's actually very happy that I took the initiative to go, to go for it, to just follow what I want to do. Although she hates the fact that I have a nightclub, but she's very supportive. She'll pray that that it's successful. She's been in the beginning stage. It wasn't easy. There were times I had to go to my mom. Hey, Mom, I'm struggling there. This is the bar now. Please assist me. She assisted me. But she'll be like, I told you about this business. I told you about that. My dad. Oh man, my dad is like embarrassing the family. Yeah, my dad, from a political background, it's like, no, you're embarrassing the family, you shouldn't do it. In fact, he came here. My dad had opportunity. My mom has been here, and my dad has also seen the club, but not Saint, the bar.
Okay.
And he's like,
but has the dad been to the club?
Not Saint. Not Saint. Unfortunately, it was just the bar. Of them. Okay. Just the bar. And what he said was, congratulations.
Oh, that's amazing.
As much as I'm not happy, but you're doing a fantastic job. Congratulations. Yeah. But yeah, they're not happy. My brother, he doesn't look at the club, whatever. He's a finance guy.
What are the figures saying?
What are the figures saying? Exactly.
The figures are saying God is pleased.
Absolutely. Yeah. So man, it's a beautiful journey for me.
Okay.
I love this industry fully. Do I see myself being here in the next 10, 15 years? I don't know. I can't answer. If I have to be here, I will. Mm-hmm. But obviously there's bigger projects in the pipeline.
Okay.
Much bigger than the nightclub. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not gonna ask that yet.
No need. These are my plans. These are my plans for me.
And so, were you studying while you were when you opened the bar, or you were done studying?
I was done already when I opened the bar. Correct.
I actually want to ask some questions that I think are already like. So the first question I want to ask.
Right.
Have I settled my bill?
You know what? Actually, have you settled your bill? Have you settled all your bills? I'm not too sure. No, definitely. You have settled your bill. You are an amazing customer. Never gives issues to pay. You come here, pay. You order your drinks. You're having a ball. You're having a joke with your friends.
Okay.
You also go and you pay. Definitely. I know. I know where the questions. I know where the questions lead to. Yeah. Yeah.
So what let me just for those who might not know, let me just give context. So,
right.
So Saint is a fantastic club here in Cape Town, and I think while you were renovating the club, if I'm not correct, what is it?
Correct.
You're going through the renovations.
Right.
A post comes out from Saint.
Yes.
And it's like, yo, there are certain people who have not paid.
Yeah.
And we have contacted you.
Yes.
If you don't contact us by, within 48 hours, I don't know how long it was, and tell us what your plans are to pay us back.
Right.
And you say nothing, we are going to post your face on on Instagram, and we'll name and shame.
Right.
And then some people kind of scrambled, and then I think some paid. And then there were those who did not communicate and said nothing, didn't respond, and they were posted on the page.
Right.
And it was like every day, right?
Every day, correct.
You'd be posted
every second day or something.
Every second day you'd be posted until you paid.
Exactly.
So what informed that?
Right, okay.
To say, okay, we will name and shame these people.
No. So it wasn't about naming and shaming.
Yeah.
Not once did we say we are going to name and shame you. However, before getting to what you just mentioned now, we had contacted all these customers that owed us money. Like it took us some more than a year before we got to, hey, we're gonna have to post you. So some people,
that's a long time.
That's a long time. Some people we managed to get a hold of which they got back to us saying, guys, we don't have the money. Can we come up with a payment plan and so forth? And we're like, cool, we understand. The ones that we couldn't get a hold of are the ones that actually pushed us to post on social media, because some of them actually changed numbers. Some of them, they were on Instagram. Next minute, they're no longer on Instagram. Some of them, they just MIA. We did not know what to do. how else do we get a hold of him? At the point where we even went to the police station to try and open cases on certain individuals, police couldn't even find these guys, right? So we were forced to sort of like get the country, get the people to assist us in finding these individuals that owe us money. And that's what happened. We just went there on social media, those that owe us money, with the hopes of the people that we couldn't reach out to, they would contact us. Exactly. So we actually posted, and some people started reaching out. Some people that we actually had forgotten about. Some people that we had actually forgotten about that owed us some money. I swear, Khaya, they started reaching out. Yo, bro, sorry, man. I owe you 20K. Yo, man, I owe you 15K. Man, the amount of money that I made from people that we completely forgot about, it was crazy. I was very happy about that. And then certain individuals that started being completely rude. We're never going to pay you whatsoever. They're the people that we actually posted.
Okay.
So anyone who
made a plan.
Anyone that made a plan that was respectful, they said that don't even have the money, cannot pay you next year in 2 years' time, we did not post.
Yeah.
But the ones that started becoming disrespectful, or the ones that we couldn't reach out to at all, we posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you made money from that.
And we made money from that, And many people actually paid. Those that actually owed us, that knew of, they actually paid us.
It's happened to me once where I didn't pay at a club.
Oh my God.
It was in Joburg. This was... So I at a club in Joburg, I think it was Kong at the time.
Ish.
So I didn't know I didn't pay. I didn't even know I hadn't paid. I'm home.
You didn't know you didn't pay.
I didn't know I didn't pay. So now the next morning I get a call from a friend of mine, Caesar, and says, "Yo, Caesar." Says, "Yo, Khaya, I just got a call from Kong. They say I haven't paid." I was like panicked immediately. And then I didn't remember paying or not paying. I just don't know what happened.
Right.
And then I said, okay, where can I pay? Where can I pay? Can I send some? They said no. They open at 3:00 on a Sunday, so I can go and pay.
Right.
Listen, but I was waiting by the door at 3:00.
Wow.
Because I did not. I felt so embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean,
by the fact that I hadn't paid.
Exactly.
And so when I get there, and then I arrive, and the guy's like, "Oh my, you are here."
You're here,
What
exactly.
they said.
Right.
The guy says to me, "You are the first person ever to come and pay."
You see?
And from that day, they made me VIP all the time.
Oh wow!
Because I came to pay.
Wow!
I was like, "Is it a thing?" I didn't even know it was a thing that happened.
No, it happened.
People did not pay.
It happens. It happens in many ways. For example, you get certain customers. They become loyal customers.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not from here. They're from different cities or different countries. So they build that trust. Let's say, for example, you start coming to Toussaint once a week, twice a week. You're spending a substantial amount of money. And then this is your last day here at Saint for quite some time. But we don't know that, right? You order the drinks. It comes up to 50K. And, oh, guys, shice, I left my card at home, or my card is not working. Can I pay tomorrow? I will come back. You've built that trust with us. Yeah. You have that relationship. Okay. We trust you.
Because I was wondering how people were unable to... Okay.
Yeah, it's not this thing of we give people credit. Like, social media is crazy. People have been saying their own nonsense that we give people credit. I will never give anyone credit. Okay. We don't do that. It's a matter of trust. That's one. So, okay, cool, Khaya, you say you don't have your card. It's fine. You can come and pay tomorrow. Khaya doesn't come tomorrow. You're gone, you've disappeared. That's one. And then you get to certain people that come to the club with groups of mates. There are 5, 10, they're ordering, and then they start a fight. From starting a fight with bouncers, securities, they take 2 or 3 people out. Oh, guys, you took those people that had a card they were supposed to pay. Yeah.
Wow. Do you think there's a part of a scam that people...
it's a different scam, So now we're just like,
I'm gonna start a fight next time.
No, people do that, right? That's the issue that we had to resolve with the security. If people fight, don't just throw them out.
Yeah.
Because maybe they were right. Maybe the person that was supposed to pay was actually thrown out.
Yeah.
We don't know that up until now. And then you get those customers that will actually come here. They know that the waitresses are serving 2 or 3 tables.
Yeah.
They wait for the waitress to serve them, go to the next table, and they just disappear. So we, as a company, also had to tighten our security. We had to come up with
more
systems.
Vigilant.
We had to be more vigilant. Exactly. So now it's definitely not happening. Now here you come. I'm watching you. Yeah. We have someone sitting by the camera, CCTV, our normal camera, watching all the tables. Oh. We have securities. No one is allowed to go out until the waitresses or hostess or the manager says the table has been set.
The table has been set.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly,
wow.
exactly. Yeah, this thing of we give people credits and things like that. Never.
Because I thought I was very upset.
Right.
I was very upset. I was like, you've never given me credit.
Oh my God.
What's going on?
We'll never give people credit. We're running to loss. We need to have this business. It requires cash flow all the time. You know, I mean.
So just take me through that.
Yes.
Like on average, if you can talk about this,
right?
On average, tell how say a night.
Yes.
So how much do you have to, like, how much does it cost to run like one night a club?
One night at a club. Let me use an example. Yesterday, I spent about 400,000 rand purchasing stock. Well, based on the stock that moved, our cost of sales came up to 400,000 rands. 120,000 rands just on bookings, our headliners, you know, your celebs and so forth. I had Spare Naves last night. We had Oluwa Kuwait and so forth. And then you've got your sub-influencers that you need to pay. Then you've got your main promoters. You've got your sub-promoters. You've got your waitresses. So you're looking at, besides stock, I spent 200,000 rands yesterday just to have the club. Again, besides stock. So put the stock away. I spent 200,000 rands just to have this place open. That's just per day, as you asked. So tonight, I'm spending around 200,000 rands as well. Tomorrow will be around 200,000 rands as well. If the celebrity is super massive, if it's a, because I know you're going to ask me much. If it's an Akon, you're looking at spending 600,000 rands.
Wow.
In one night, yes.
That's quite a heavy cost.
It's a heavy cost because of the type of clientele that we have, the type of drinks that we sell.
Before I go to that, actually, so you're talking about the costs and all of that. That's a lot of money.
Correct.
And now, because there are two things, I've got to remember this. So I want to talk about the staff.
Yes.
Because that's what I always find. I find that it would be very hard for me to run a place like this. Because one, you have to deal with your staff, people,
Correct.
right? You make sure that no one is stealing your stock, because and the reason I'm saying this is because there's someone I know quite well who owns a really, really fantastic restaurant in Joburg. And so I'm speaking to him the one night I happened to be at the restaurant, and I say, I'm not seeing these two managers that, what's going on? And he says, wow, I had to fire them.
Jesus.
And I what do you mean to fire them? What happened? He said, well, these guys were, one, not stealing from him, but they were running a business using his, like his
equipment,
cutlery, his cloths and all of that. And a catering company.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
managers, people that you're really supposed to trust.
And you're supposed to trust these people,
right.
And he said to me, like, the hardest thing when it comes to running a restaurant is actually managing your staff and those
Absolutely.
people. So, how do you deal with that? Because for you, right, you have to deal with the stock. You have to make sure that it's up to date. You've got to make sure you trust the barman, you trust the waiters, you trust the people who are cleaning. You've got to make sure the security too. How do you manage all of that? And that is over and above the people who are coming here who might not be paying.
Exactly.
Right? And
the celebrities that you're also booking in that are divas.
Booking. And also you also trying to make sure that people aren't people have been drinking, so fights could break out.
Absolutely.
You have to manage all of that.
Absolutely.
How do you deal with this avalanche of stuff?
My man, it's this is why I've always told certain people, not everybody is made to be a leader or an entrepreneur. How do you deal with it? You just have to have a strong heart. No matter what system you have in place. I mean, I've got a lot of managers, and every manager manages the department. That's how I deal with it. But there will always be theft in this type of business, and not just the nightclub industry. I'm sure in every business,
that's
theft.
True. That's very true.
So the only way to deal with it is you just have to have a strong heart. You just have to have a serious heart, and you need to know that you have a calling to be a leader and an entrepreneur. That's the way I deal with it. I try my utmost best to employ the people that I believe that I trust to manage the departments, to their best ability. And of course, I have regular meetings with my managers. We check up on them. And for me, if there's anything that is missing, I'm very strict here. If anything goes missing, management, it's either you pay for it or you find the culprit and they pay for it. I'm not going to pay for unnecessary losses, unnecessary theft, unnecessary that or whatever. I mean, the law that's here usually governs or protects employees, but it's really unfair. It's unfair on us, the entrepreneurs that are that are trying to make ends meet for everybody, not just for us. You know, we take care of the staff and everything, but then for someone to come and steal, I won't allow anybody to steal.
Yeah, no, that
if they're stealing from me right now and I do not know, kudos to them. Kudos to them, because I've got a lot of securities here. I've got people watching the cameras. I probably have the most amount of managers than any nightclub in Cape Town. I have 8 managers. 8 managers, and they have to give me reports every Monday, every Tuesday, and every night that we trade. Each manager sends me a report. Any issue, they have to deal with it. Otherwise, they're going to be penalized.
So, okay, how many days you spend here?
I'm here from Monday to Sunday.
So when does it open?
Currently, because it's January, we open Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays.
All right.
But I mean...
when are you in the office? Because, by the way, he's got an office. So we went upstairs to see this office. And, you know, I'm sure people always think that, like, if you run a nightclub, I don't know, they think that the bar is the office, right? You go there and then that's the office. There's like a proper... a very functional office. There's 100%. A boardroom. There's all of that.
Absolutely.
That's happening there upstairs.
Yes, so, I'm here Monday to Sunday, actually. Mm-hmm. Monday to Friday is very intense.
So what time? So what you take your son to school?
I drop my son at school at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I come straight here, work up until 10 p.m. Then I go home. I choose to work up until 10 p.m. because I get bothered a lot during the day. Phone calls, meetings with staff, meetings with suppliers, meetings with potential sponsors. And then from 6 p.m., it goes quiet. Everybody goes home. And then that's when I start doing my own work. So this is Monday to Friday where I'm very, very intense. And then Saturdays and Sundays, I generally pop in just to come and check.
So what are you doing from 6? What's the thing? Because I know before that, you're saying the suppliers, meetings, right, and all of that. From 6?
So from 6 to 10, it's me. I'm just double checking the figures, doing my admins, admins that I need full concentration. You know, no one must bother me. Making sure that everything is spot on. There's no, this is not missing, that's not missing. Making sure that the business is functional. Making sure that we're making a profit. That takes a lot, you know. And I'm always looking for opportunities to make money. Mm. Who do I contact next? Who do we collaborate with? Who do we work with? Yeah, that's me from 6 to 10 when I don't want anybody to bother me.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, with all the stuff that you have,
yes,
because it's a lot of people who work here.
Correct.
And a lot of clubs really, really suffered and struggled, I think, during COVID.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So, I mean, how did you, because you were obviously very operational before COVID.
Right.
When COVID happens.
Correct.
There are all these people and no one is coming here.
Correct.
No one is
It's closed. No one is coming here because it's closed.
No one's popping balls.
Exactly. Exactly.
How did you deal with that? Because I can't imagine how tough that must have been.
It was very tough. It was very tough because we employ 98 employees, right?
Wow.
Well, we employ 98 people. And not being able to have regular income, it became very hard. And the hardest part was shutting down, having to let go of people. And there's been people that worked with me since 2013. And there's people that just started. And I was just like, my God, how am I going to take care of these people? Luckily, the business was very successful. We were able to take a loan. I took a loan to pay staff to make sure that they were okay during that process until such time we could open again. Yes, it was very tough. It's we were lucky enough to function our business properly, where banks could actually, give us the loans that we needed.
Wow, that is that is quite
so some of them, not some of them, all of them got paid without working. Yeah, and then obviously we tried, there were all these schemes that were in place, the UIF schemes, all these things we applied. We only got, I think, money for like 1, 2 months or 3 months, and then next minute money apparently went missing, and all that corruption that happened. And obviously our staff couldn't, if you are earning 20,000, 25,000 rands and they're giving you 4,000 rands, but your rent is, you still needed to pay rent, people had expenses. So yeah, I had to go and get a loan to try and sustain people's lifestyles, not just their living, not just for them to live and to be okay, but their lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's us at Saint. If you work at Saint, you're happy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, that's...
Yeah, it was very tough. It was a very tough moment. Mm-hmm. I won't lie. Also being used to, you're making a certain amount of money every month.
Yeah.
And the next minute, that money is not there anymore. Yeah. So we had to readjust many things. Yeah. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I believe it wasn't easy for anybody. For me, was it easy for me? Definitely not. It was very tough.
It's so funny. I thought, I was like, this is what I thought. I was like, I think after COVID, there are going to be fewer nightclubs.
More actually popped up.
I know. I was like, there's definitely going to be fewer nightclubs.
Yeah,
because
right.
I cannot imagine how they will be operating and all of that,
Right.
post-COVID. But then, I mean, yeah, speaking about, but this was when things were relaxed.
Right.
And I remember coming here, and this is about, people spend, because this is me going to the Milan Rand table.
Okay,
And
sure.
I talk about the Milan Rand table.
Sure.
So I remember coming here,
Yeah.
the one night, and I think I was sitting over there.
We sat over there.
Yeah,
exactly.
we're sitting over there, and there was a big table here.
Right.
Big table.
Right.
But it was like ace after ace after ace.
And not in the ace. They ordered those Magnum bottles,
yeah.
right?
And I was like, what the heck? At some point, I think the mic, the MC, he gives the mic to one of the guys that's standing there, and he's like, yo, they're here for Ginimbi, because I think Ginimbi, he passed away to be like, it's been a month, or I don't know how long since it passed away.
Right.
And they were celebrating his, and I was like, wow, those guys are like, what? I wake up the next day and I see on the timeline
the Bulls trending
800K.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Yes.
So, and I remember when people were asking, people saying that, no, there's no way people are going to spend it like, $1 million bucks. And I called back to that night when I saw the table that I spent 800K.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay. And so is this like a regular thing where people are out just spending this kind of money?
Khaya, there's money in this world, my man. Surely you know that you've traveled. People are desperate to spend the money for entertainment. I always tell people entertainment is not a want. Entertainment is a need. We have bottles of champagnes that cost 200,000 rands per bottle. So if you just order 5 of that, that's 1 million rands, right? With my own eyes, we've had customers here that have spent 1.5 million. So this one, I mean, social media is crazy. People see us marketing, but they think we're trying to train. They think we're trying to cause commotion or drama whatsoever. No, we literally marketing to our audience. We know how much our audience spends. We've had people spending a lot of money. And then for New Year's Eve, it's an opportunity for us to make money. At some point in time, we hadn't made money for like 2-3 months. So we need to make sure that, hey, it's New Year's Eve. Let us capitalize. Let us reach out to those guys, consumers that are capable of spending 1 million rands. Sometimes you get these people that just want to know, okay, cool, I can actually go and spend 1 million rands there. And you attract them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the whole idea, to attract the people that spend that kind of money and the people that have already spent that money, to understand that on New Year's Eve, there's a minimum spend. And it's also part of a marketing strategy to also try and get people to compete. This one wants to be the millionaire in this club, wants to be seen as, I'm the big boy. Everybody wants. We actually sold 5 1 million rands table that day. 5. We sold 5.
Sold 5 1
million rands table that night. Yeah.
That's sure.
I mean, you've been here numerous times. You see how people pop.
Yes, no, I've
people
are
popping bottles.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen people pop. Yeah. But 5. That is wow. So are these are they locals? Are they international?
Funny enough, from the 4 locals.
Really?
Locals.
So 4 local, 1
4 locals,
international.
1 international.
Oh wow. Okay.
4 locals, 1 from the 28th of December, this place was flooded just with locals. I mean, yes, we had, let me not just say locals, let's say 90% of the people that were spending. I've never seen this kind of spending. This was our biggest year ever. Locals. Majority from Johannesburg. I want them back, man. We did. From Johannesburg. We need them back. It was crazy. I remember vividly, especially on the 30th of December, this place was so packed that all the tables were occupied. We literally had to give people buckets, and they had to stand, and we had to place those buckets on the table, on the floor. That's how busy we were. And then every table on average spent over almost like 200,000 rands.
That's
insane. Yes, and it happened. And I kid you not. I mean, you've been here, you've witnessed it. I've seen it myself, and we just want to. That's where the A game is. That's where we are about. That's what we are about. We want to just focus on that.
So, do you think so? So, has there been like a difference, right, in terms of what's happened to Toussaint post the exposure?
Right.
So people weren't paying.
Right.
And also the million rand table.
Right.
So has there been like a game changer, and have other clubs seen what's happening as a result?
Right. There's definitely been a game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it financially. We've always been successful every year, but this year, last year, December, was just some other type of money. You mentioned were the other clubs upset about it or jealous about it. Truth be told, we were the biggest club. And we're the biggest club in terms of hype, in terms of noise, in terms of people just kept talking about it. So yeah, it's very clear. I think they're obviously feeling some type of way.
No, because
the competition just became greater for them. Yeah,
there were people who had never heard of Saint.
I swear to God,
there were people who didn't know about it, and then when those names, I was having so much fun. I was so entertained. There's a video. I took this video. I forget the name of this cartoon.
Okay. I know where you're going. Yeah.
I took this cartoon. And it's based on Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And then there's when Cersei is walking down, she's doing the walk of shame.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
shame.
Then shame.
Are you
and then shame. And then I said, Saint be like. And it's like, shame, shame on you, shame on you.
Yeah. No, it was classic. You really helped. You really were one of the forefront to get this thing to trend. I don't know how quick you were, because anything we posted, boom. I don't know how you edited it, who did it for you. You just made it seem, man, I just watched everything that you posted. We just cracked ourselves crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
I feel terrible because I was here enjoying other people's misery. Because obviously there were people who were miserable about the fact that their names are out there.
Yeah, that's their problem. No, for me personally, they really deserved it. Well, look, because you're saying that you're enjoying other people's misery. The true people that felt the misery or they feel the misery are myself and the employees.
Yeah.
I employ 98 people. That's 98 families that are dependent on the product that you're consuming. You need to pay for it, right? If you don't pay for it, somebody might not get paid on time.
Yeah.
The suffering. If they do get paid on time, or they do eventually get paid, I'm gonna end up suffering.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be worried that you're celebrating the people that owe us money.
I was just having too much fun.
Yes, it was something new. It was all right. It was
I was having too much fun.
It was something, and it was a big risk for us as a company to do it. A big risk, and I understood the risk. I mean, was it worth it? Definitely, it was worth it.
You literally on everyone's lips.
Yes, that was very good for us.
Yeah.
In terms, we didn't know it was going to be that it wasn't going to go that far. I didn't know the magnitude of where it was going to be. But if it really helped the business get to where it needs to be, hey, we thank you, Lord. There's no such thing as bad publicity or whatsoever. And definitely it drove new traffic, new faces. Every single day up until now, we're getting new faces every single day.
Yeah.
And I think this year, no, I don't think. I take it back. I know this year will be our biggest year yet.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
No, like now, like was it last weekend? What was happening in Joburg? Oh, when the Joburg, what Greg reporter when he was here.
Yes.
There was a number of people from Joburg, and there were people who I was like, do you even know about Saint? And they told me they were at Saint.
Yes, amazing.
Like, how's this?
Well, I hope they had a great time.
Yeah, no.
Our aim right now is to make sure that every person, it's always been our aim, but our main focus right now is to ensure every person that steps in has a great time. Mm-hmm. Because we are, like I mentioned, we've attracted new faces all the time, and we need to maintain that. We need to ensure that every person that comes here remains a customer. That's our biggest challenge right now as a business.
So you're talking about the fact that maybe there's no such thing as bad publicity. So
yes,
obviously the Akon thing incident. So context for those who might not know what's with the Akon.
Right.
So Akon was in South Africa and Saint advertised saying that Akon is going to be here in South Africa. Right. I mean, at Saint, and there's going to be like a million rand table again.
For sure.
That's going to be here.
For sure.
And then he did not appear.
Yes.
So, and then obviously people are, oh my goodness, Saint is scamming. What's happening? They're a scammer. What the hell is going on here?
I need to learn to be a scammer. That's a joke.
Yeah. And then she's like, is it part of a publicity stunt? What is happening? And so far, and then you put out a statement.
Correct.
So just take us through what happened.
Definitely not a publicity stunt. Mm-hmm. At all. Definitely. That's a big risk. I'll get my ass sued, So yes, it was a very legitimate booking. We were approached by Akon's representatives, asking us to book Akon for 3 days, of which I agreed and made the payment. We're not just going to post. I mean, we've never let anybody down. Whoever we put on a poster or flyers, they've always been here. It was our first time to have such a big artist disappointing us. Anyways, it had to do with their management. You know, I don't want to go in depth, and then it becomes a bigger issue.
Yeah.
But we paid the money, and apparently, this is, I don't want to say it. Apparently, someone did not disclose the right amount of money to the main manager. Okay, and the main manager was not happy about it, and also
So basically, what happened is
yes.
So basically, tell me if I'm correct.
Yes.
So what happened was, so you spoke to the management,
one of the representatives, yes,
and they're like, "Great, he's coming. He's going to spend here 3 days. This is how much it's going to cost."
Exactly.
Then like, let's say it's going to cost R4, okay?
Correct.
And then like, great, we're going to pay the $4.
We paid
the $4.
They told us to proceed with the flyer.
And then
so we couldn't even proceed with the flyer before paying. When you're engaging with these big celebrities, you need permission from
them to approve
everything, to approve the flyer, to approve the details or whatsoever. Yes. So we paid. Great, guys, you paid.
Then now you make the flyer.
Now you start making the flyer. Okay, we had to edit the flyers a couple of times.
Yes.
Back and forth. And go for it, guys. We posted. Everything was right. And on the night, mind you, I was at the hotel.
Yeah.
I was where Akon was staying, and I don't want to mention the hotel.
Yeah.
The main manager and so forth went there to go pick them up. Man, arguments happening between themselves. And yeah, man, someone did not disclose the correct amount.
So basically, someone, probably part of the team, was
They're definitely part of the team.
Who was like, said that you're being paid, like they're being paid R2 instead of R4.
100%.
I take it.
And the main manager,
and then they're like, whoa, but that's not how we agree.
The main manager was not happy about it, and also just the way one of the representatives went about the whole dealings. The main manager felt like he was being sidelined, and the main manager is the CEO of Convert Music, and so he has a final say. So at that point in time, he was just like, "Hey guys, it's a no. I'm sorry." Mm-hmm. So now we had to face all the backlash, and it was very hard for me as the owner of the business I just didn't know what to tell the people. So I ended up coming here. I asked the MC to announce, to let the people know that unfortunately Akon is not coming. We had to do it. We couldn't just, let the show go on without Akon appearing or not announcing something. It was very hard. It was very hard. We've never done something like that. And I was pushed in the corner to, I just didn't know what to do. I just told the MC, man, hey, you have to announce that Akon's not coming. Don't give the reasons why. Just apologize. Yeah. And the party carried on. We announced and the party carried on. And our customers that were actually here understood. Some people came to me and asked me directly, what's happening? I mentioned to them, sorry, Akon's not coming because of this and this. Oh, no, we understand. Because they know that Saint always delivers. We always deliver. We never cheat people. People thought that we were scamming. It was not a scam whatsoever. But social media, again, what I've noticed about social media, the people on social media, they're cartoons. They're entertainers, you know what I'm saying? They're just there to put out whatever they want to put out without actually knowing what's really truthful, and they get, they create this box where people start believing whatever they want to believe, and people start saying whatever they want to say. But the truth be told, we did book Akon, we did pay the money.
Do you know how I figured that was probably true for me?
Yes.
I was like, because you put out a statement.
Yes.
And I was like, well, if this is not true, the money hasn't been paid. Because your statement says that the money was paid.
We paid, yeah.
Akon's management is going to say the money wasn't paid.
Exactly. They never responded to
They will put something that...
They would have put something out. Exactly. They would have put something out. They didn't put something out. And I was actually very close, and I am still very close to the person that was actually driving Akon on a daily. And he called me out. He's like, hey, man, what happened? What went on? Because Akon's team is also not happy. As in, like, the main manager, he's not happy. They want to do this, they want to do that. I'm like, hey, man, but this is what happened. I paid the money. This person didn't deliver, and you guys started fight. I don't know. It's.
Did you get your money back?
I got the money back, of course. I'm not gonna let somebody try and. I got the money back.
so very quickly. So would I be correct if I say that?
Yeah.
You didn't scam,
right?
But you were almost scammed.
No, I was not almost scammed. I just believe that there was miscommunication between the main manager and the representative.
Okay.
Right? And the biggest issue here was that representative did not disclose the real amount that was being paid.
Okay.
Correct. So it was going to be a legitimate. It was a legitimate booking. So if the main manager did not
scamming
ask,
his own people.
He was scamming his own people.
Okay.
Not us.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to say this, but hey, let the people hear the truth, right?
Okay.
Right.
So this is like something that's always fascinated me about clubs and celebrities. And the question I always ask myself is like, do people go because they're celebrities?
Right.
Why like, okay, they'll be like, oh, Pearl is coming, or Sarah is coming, or Akon is coming.
Right.
Does that work?
It works. Absolutely, it works. I mean, firstly, us as a club, we don't have millions and millions of followers. So we can only market to a certain number of people, our followers. And our followers are their legitimate customers. We don't know that. Sometimes we may have underage followers on social media. Sometimes we may have people that are far away. But if you've got an Akon who has over 10 million followers, or a Pearl you mentioned that has over 4 or 5 million followers, there's a bigger chance of having people coming from her side than our direction. So that's where we gamble. It's a risk. It's an investment that we put in. It's a risk that we take. So yes, people do come. Sometimes, I mean, if you are a Elias, shout out to Elias, my homie. He's got great music. He's got fans that want to come and hear him out, and maybe the fans are actually here in Cape Town and not necessarily in Johannesburg. And it's an opportunity for them to actually come and see Les face to face. So yeah, it definitely works.
Okay,
definitely works.
Okay,
yeah.
It sounded very funny. That happened to me with clubs. So I had years ago. I had a it's almost like how you get profiled, right? By the club and even security and all of that.
Right.
I mean, I had a C class, right?
Yes.
This class. And then I kind of had to get rid of it because it gave me problems and I was angry and I left it.
A C class gave you problems?
Yes, it gave me. I'd had it for 5 years.
Okay.
So, and then I was upset and then I was like, you know what? I left it at the service centers that I'm done with this car. I'm done. I'm going to, and then I go and look for another car and then there's a car that I like.
Right.
And it looks really nice. It was a CLS, like long and very beautiful looking kind of car. And something that had never happened to me in my entire life.
Right.
So like the day I pick it up,
right,
I decided to go to a club in Pretoria.
Right.
There's this club in Pretoria and I'm driving and it's raining.
Right.
I'm looking for parking and miracle of miracles happens.
Yes.
Cones get removed. And I was like, whoa, what happened?
You're a big boy, man. When you drive that kind of car, you're a big boy.
What? And do you know what I'd always thought?
Yeah.
I'd always thought that like in order to have those cones removed,
yes,
you call. Right. I thought that you call and then they remove the code for you.
Right.
And they know your registration and then you park. That's how you can park.
Correct.
And then I realized you just get profiled. They see your car and then you can park here.
It's both ways. So you've got your top clientele. Mm-hmm. We call them your big boys that generally come to your business every, whenever, once, twice a week. You give them a call, guys, I'm coming through. They reserve your parking, right? And then, of course, we have to profile people, unfortunately. That this is why you've got this terminology, target market. If your target market is that person driving that CLS,
yeah,
that's an expensive car. You want that person to come inside your business, because if you drive that kind of car, it means that person is earning some big bucks. So yeah, they're gonna move the cones and give you the parking. So we have to profile, unfortunately. It's the game of the business.
That was the most amazing.
How did you feel? You felt great, right? I'm sure you probably spent a lot of money too.
Like, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
I was invited as a guest. Some people there, and they were, and I was like, this is an incredible thing.
Right.
And then I was like, I want to test this thing with another club.
If you are driving a fancy car, a beautiful car, and they've got cones outside, and it's not reserved for anyone, you will get that parking.
No, I've not.
Definitely, you'll get it. We have to profile people, not just profile by vehicles, by looks as well, appearances, by what you wear. If you're targeting people that are going to be spending 100,000, 200,000 rands, and you are actually spending that 200,000 rands, you don't want to be seated next to just, I don't want to use this term, just anybody, you know what I'm saying? You don't
That's why it's a VIP section.
You've got VIP section, you've got, you have to be profiled. It's part of the game, my brother.
This is another thing that I always struggled with.
Right.
Like, how do you have that faith that, that person, you've never seen them before, they're gonna pay is there a point where you're like you don't know these people, right?
Right, 100%.
And they're ordering and
right.
you like, isn't there part of you that panics? What if they can't pay? Because you don't know, because they just order, right? Because no one pays up front.
If you don't pay up front, unfortunately, if you can't pay, you'll get a big hiding, you'll get a beating. So we will get the money out of you. No, I don't think it's a risk that we take as a club. If you're gonna come in and start ordering massively, we are obviously going to put our eyes on you.
Yeah.
And from your first order, we generally ask the operational manager or the general manager to go forward and ask the guys, hey, are you guys really capable of paying? If they say yes, we just have to trust the word.
Yeah.
I mean, we've lost money a couple of times where I've told you low customers ran away or regular customers ran away thinking that they're going to come back the next day. People cause fights, whatever. Have we had an incident where people have ordered and the store here and the comp pay? No, we haven't. Everybody has paid.
So what did you say, like your driving principle behind maybe the club is?
Right.
Yeah.
The driving principle behind the club is service, my man. It's service.
Let me a quick interruption.
Okay, no problem.
When you say that about service,
yes,
I'll never forget the first time I interacted with you. I was introduced, Pearl introduced us.
Correct.
And I think we're sitting over there.
Correct.
And I could see you like literally directing. You're like, okay, you're pointing there. You talk to someone. The MC. You go to the MC. Like, okay, you gotta say this, and then the guy a few minutes later, he's saying something.
Correct.
You were literally just directing. I felt like I was watching a director. In fact, not a director, but a conductor.
Conductor,
an orchestra. It's just the most incredible thing. Because I'd never seen that happen. Because it looked like your eyes were everywhere.
Absolutely. I always tell my staff, when I come here, I'm not the owner.
So when you say service, that's what I mean.
Exactly, service.
I literally saw that.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I always tell my staff, when I come here, I'm not the owner, I'm a customer. So I want to experience what we want to give to our consumers. So for me, what is the drive? It's a service. And I think anywhere else, if the service is great, people will come back. So we need to ensure that our service is always top tier. We need to make sure that people feel welcomed here. We don't want to sideline certain individuals, but focus on service for everybody. If you can do that right, and I think we've mastered it. If not, we're trying our utmost best. And this is why we're number one in Cape Town.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Are there any questions that I think Mihlali?
Hey. Yes. Ask that question.
Okay. All right. So
I thought,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Of course. Here's another question. Of course, you remember when Mihlali posted on, I think it was either on Twitter or on Instagram or both, I don't know. But she was going after people who weren't paying her. Right. I think she started with some other one. And then she said, she mentioned Saint.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys haven't paid me.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Correct.
So what happened then?
It's a very sad story because it's very clear that her management tried to steal from her.
They tried to Akon her.
Exactly. That's a good one. Exactly. Try to steal from her, or we're just not transparent, or we're just not being honest with her. We paid her management on time, so we did not deal directly with Mihlali. Her management contacted us, so we dealt with her management. Management said, pay this amount, pay for flights, pay for accommodation. We agreed, we paid the management. But clearly, it was very clear that the management, we actually responded to Mihlali. I don't know if you guys saw on social media. We actually responded with the proof of payments. We responded with the WhatsApp chat with the management team, responded that we booked the flight and so forth.
Okay, I didn't see that detail.
Yeah, we responded carefully, and I put out a beautiful statement there that management, they shouldn't be doing that. They need to work in good faith with their artists, because now someone like Mihlali, who we had a very good relationship with, feels like it's us that we're wronging her, and it was not us, it was her management team. You know what I'm saying? So it caused a lot of friction. Right now, she's blocked my events manager. She's blocked my marketing manager, of which they had a very tight relationship. But because of people not being honest, It just caused a lot of problems. But we did everything that we needed to do right from our side. We paid on time, and it was just her management that messed her over.
I mean, I wonder how often that happens, because I mean, there's two stories now where it's like Akon, Mihlali.
Right. It happens often. It's not the first time it has happened with Mihlali. In fact, she's not the first person. And with her, she went on social media, she posted. But we've had talents contacting us saying, hey, have you paid? I haven't received my money. I'm like, yeah, we paid you like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
Here's the proof of payment. Go to your management.
Yo, artists.
Go to your management.
Artists, listen, look at your management, guys.
Proper.
100%. Follow the money.
Right.
Don't just rely and think that, it's not that you don't trust them. What do they say? Trust but verify.
100%.
Trust but verify.
We pay. At Saint, we don't owe any artists money. We pay on time. We've never had issues. I mean, you can ask any celebrity that we've worked with if we owe their money. They'll tell you, no, we always pay. And
no, I actually have a friend. There's a friend of mine who comes here pretty regularly as well. And she always brings me to be her sidekick. And she, and unsolicited, she literally said this to me. There was a club, I'm not going to mention
Don't mention the club,
that had just opened. And then it opened for 2 minutes and it was shut down. It's the funniest thing. This club literally opened for 2 minutes.
Wow.
And then they didn't pay that. And then she was comparing it, to and she's talking about how everything is so reliable. Booking of accommodation, flights, when you're being paid. And she was like, it's very
important. It's very important. If you want your business to thrive, don't miss when it comes to payment. We do understand you will face difficulties sometimes. It's not rainy days every day. You're not making money all the time. But transparency is very important. Communicate if you cannot pay. But in my entertainment, my line of business, before I pay myself, I make sure that everybody's paid. If I am to book people, it's not costing million rands. Before I see the profit, they need to get paid first. Pay them first, sort them out, then you will not have issues. And your business will thrive. And I think we've been blessed in that direction. And I think that's why we'll always be blessed forever. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I hope so. I know so.
Your mother's your mother's prayers are working.
They're working, man.
Saint.
They're working. They're working. And I am a saint indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah.
I mean, the show's called Leave a Message. So do you have a message to leave?
Yes, I have a message to leave. Always be honest. Always be honest and follow God. That's the most important thing for me. If you're always honest and you follow God, nothing will go wrong. You'll always face battles, whatever, but you'll always be victorious. Be honest and follow God. That's it.
Amen.
Amen.
Oh, this was fantastic.
Was it?
I loved it.
Amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
it was fantastic.
Shot, brother.
Oh, this was good.